In the horticulture industry, strategic investment advisory panels help Hort Innovation ensure levy money is invested in projects that will directly benefit growers. The Fresh Potato Strategic Investment Plan has been created to guide the Fresh Potato Advisory Panel's oversight of project investment for the industry over the next 5 years. The plan includes clear and measurable goals to ensure strategic levy investments align with the industry's vision for the future. Greg Murdoch is a fund manager at Hort Innovation and says the plan has established outcomes to measure its success, following the consultation undertaken to get industry members' thoughts and opinions on the plan.
The strategic investment plan sets out a number of key performance indicators and outcomes that the investment needs to deliver on for industry. It also provides guidance for the strategic advisory panels in the areas of investment that Hort Innovation needs to move forward to.
Dr. David McKenna is the founder of the Melbourne consultancy company McKenna et al., which was contracted for the Potato Strategic Investment Plan. When we spoke to him about the plan, he explained that the results of the industry consultations showed a number of very clear themes of concern.
The industry consultation developed a few, or gave us a few very strong themes. And the first is the need to increase yield and reduce the cost of production. So there's a few issues around that. The first of all is the consistency of extension advice. So quite often much of the advice comes from seed companies, fertiliser companies, chemical companies, and farmers worry about the objectivity of that. There's an issue around quality of seed, consistency of seed quality. There's an issue around pests and diseases, and a particular issue for Australia is that many of the chemicals that are best practice for treatment of these are not registered for Australia because we're a small market, and so we have a limited access to chemicals, and many of them are increasingly being restricted and increased MRLs put on them. Another issue is around the availability of water, so it's about getting better growing out of a given water resource.
These concerns are prompted by the major forces driving the industry: declines in consumption and sale price, and increases in the cost of production.
The potato industry is going through three sort of consecutive forces. The first is there's declining per capita consumption. Consumption is declining because Australians are now eating a very wide variety. So we used to have a meat and 3 veg diet, now we have a very eclectic diet of a whole range of different foods of ethnic origin largely. The second thing is the value of the potatoes being sold is actually declining, and part of the reason for that is that the majority of potatoes are sold through supermarkets and they're heavily promoted on special, so the value is declining. And the third factor is that the cost of production is increasing substantially. So everything's going up, particularly energy, pumping costs, chemicals, fuel, transportation, they're all going up. So the combination of declining per capita consumption, declining value and increasing cost really puts a lot of pressure on farm profitability.
The Strategic Investment Plan has identified key areas of investment for Hort Innovation to help the industry respond to these problems.
So the four basic areas in the strategy are to increase consumption and increase the value of potatoes through engaging consumers, giving them varieties that more specialised varieties that are higher value, etc. The second thing is reducing the cost through better advice, improved seed quality, better disease and pest control, and so forth. Another part of it is to increase exports. Our biggest export for potatoes, for processing potatoes, to South Korea. So we sell about 20,000 tonnes. There's quite a big opportunity to expand that into South Korea, but also similarly into Japan and longer term into China. So there's also good export opportunities for pre-packed potatoes into Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, etc. So if we can raise exports, it takes some pressure off the market. And the final part of the strategy is about building industry innovation agility. So we want to have an industry that's seeking new ideas, looking for the best practice around the world, quickly responding to change. And a part of that is really educating and encouraging the next generation who are quite keen to sort of take on new ideas. So part of it is to really encourage that next generation of the new growers. Hort Innovation hire an independent economic specialist to do a modelling on the return on investment, and they've determined that over the next 5 years there'll be a $5 million investment, about $1 million a year. And they've calculated that with the program that's been recommended, that will generate $35 million, and that's a benefit cost ratio of 7.
Thanks for watching this episode of InfoVeg TV. To view the strategic investment plan for the fresh potato industry, please visit horticulture.com.au/potato. InfoVeg TV is funded by Hort Innovation, using the vegetable and fresh potato research and development levies and contributions from the Australian Government. Hort Innovation is the grower-owned, not-for-profit research and development corporation for Australian horticulture.